Welcome to Suhail's Paramedical and Nursing Academy. In the previous lecture, I explained about the biodiversity. Biodiversity. See here, in biodiversity, previously I explained what is biodiversity and some factors I told about biodiversity in case of India, and I told there are biodiversity hotspots and there are biodiversity hotspots are there. How many are there? I have presented the value also. And remember one thing, that I have told there are how many? 34 biodiversity hotspots. Actually the present data says 26 biodiversity hotspots are present currently on universe. So this was 36 biodiversity hotspots I told. Next I told there are mega biodiversity countries. There are some countries which are having highest biodiversity. They are called as mega biodiversity countries. I told they are how many? 70. There are 17 mega biodiversity countries, and India is one among the mega biodiversity countries. Then today what actually I am going to explain. I am going to explain this was biodiversity. Now I will explain what are the causes that cause biodiversity loss. How the biodiversity is being lost on the earth. What are the causes? What are the effects? What are the different ways by which this biodiversity is going to extinct on earth? So for today I am going to explain causes of biodiversity loss. So before I am going to tell causes of biodiversity loss, we are mostly in biodiversity. We are saying that biodiversity is everything, every living organism, the variety and variability of living organisms on the earth. Particularly when we talk about the biodiversity, in our mind there comes animals and plants which occur in the biodiversity. Okay. So then actually today, what are the causes for biodiversity? Before I am going to take the causes, we have to remember some facts, some calculations that has been made by the different world organizations about biodiversity loss. See here, if we see the data, there is tropical Pacific Ocean, tropical Pacific islands. The tropical Pacific islands, we know what happened in the previous years. The tropical Pacific island was colonized by the humans. It was colonized by the humans, and because of that colonization, 2000 bird species. How many? 2000 bird species has been extinct. 2000 bird species had been extinct. So the extinction of 2000 bird species, the reason was the colonization of tropical Pacific island by the humans. This was one fact that was found in the world. And the second fact I am going to tell, that as per the International Union of Conservation and Nature, as per the International Union of Conservation and Nature, this is an international organization. As per 2004, they have made a calculation. They have done an analysis. In 2004, what they have told? They told that there was 784 species, different species. 784 different species had been extinct in last 500 years. If we see the data, see here, in last 500 years, there was extinction of 784 species. This analysis was done by International Union of Conservation and Nature in 2004. This was the second point that I told that. So this is, you can understand how there is biodiversity loss. So 784 species was lost in last 500 years on the earth. 2000 species of bird species was lost when tropical Pacific islands was occupied, colonized by the humans. So these were the 2 points. The third point is this was all about these 2 points. You should calculate. You should note also what I am writing here, because there is less space on the board. I can't keep everything here, so that is why I am removing all the things which are present on the board, so you should see clearly. See here, now I told about there are some birds, some animals was there, some birds are there, that was shown by the internet. That is the example for extinct species. So in the example of extinct species, I am going to present some species here. There was a bird that is called Doda. Was a bird. Doda bird it was a flightless bird. It was, and now it is not. It was a flightless bird, because this bird was not flying. Actually, this bird was flightless bird, and it was found in the island of Mauritius. It was found in the island of Mauritius. This island of Mauritius is actually in Madagascar. So the island of Mauritius in Madagascar, there was Doda bird. This Doda bird is not now on the earth. It disappeared because of the extinction. So this bird is now extinct. This is the example of extinct bird. Now there is another animal that is called a thylacine. Thylacine is another animal. What thylacine? This is found in the. I have written that this is found in the. It was found in Australia. It was found in Australia. The thylacine bird was found in the Australia. Now it is also an extinct. This animal, thylacine is an animal. It is also an extinct. It is like a mule. It is like a mule. It is also now an extinct species, and it was found in Australia. So it is not no more. It is no more on the earth. This was the second I told. The third, that is Citylurus sea cow. Citylurus sea cow. Citylurus sea cow is another example. Citylurus sea cow is another example of extinct species. So it was found in Russia. This Citylurus sea cow was found in Russia, and this animal is also now an extinct among the extinct species. These were some examples. Another, there are some subspecies of tiger. Some subspecies of tiger was there. Suppose one is Java, another is I have written there are subspecies of Java, that is Java and Bali and Caspian. These was Java, Bali and Caspian are the three subspecies of tiger. They are also not found on the earth. These are also the extinct species found which are not found on the earth. So this was some data that I told. One more thing I want to tell after this. These were the three subspecies. These was the one is Doda bird. Islands of Mauritius it was found. Now it is an extinct species. Thylacine, it was found in the Australia. Now it is an extinct species. Citylurus sea cow, it was found in the Russia. Now it is an extinct species. Subspecies of tiger like Java, Bali and Caspian was the subspecies of tiger. They are also now an extinct species. Another data was that in the last 20 years, in last 20 years, what happened in last 20 years? 27. It was found that 27 species had been disappeared. So disappeared means they are not now present on the earth. They became an extinct. So in last 20 years, only in 20 years, 27 species has become the extinct. This I am saying the data about the extinction of species. Another data is there, that is. This all is actually a data. There is nothing to understand in this. This we have to remember what happened in the past many years. And one more data is there that if we see here the calculation, that what is the present situation of the species? If we see the present scenario, as per the present scenario, 15,500 species are facing the threat of extinction. How many? 15,500 species are facing threat of extinction. Note the point, threat of extinction. So this shows that the threat of extinction is there for how many species? 15,500 so this is present scenario. So they are giving a prediction that how many species are. This calculation has been made by the international. This analysis is by the international organizations. Suppose International Union of Conservation Nature is one of the main organization that says about this data. there is a list at International Union of Conservation and Nature. So it was 15,500 species are facing the threat of extinction. This is also the another thing that now I am going to say that if we see if there is a threat of these species, there is a threat of 15,500 species. Among these, if we see, there are birds also, there are mammals also, there are birds also, and there are birds also, there are mammals also, there are amphibians also, okay. In addition to amphibians also, there are another species also. Suppose here I have written that there are, it is not there, there are gymnosperms, okay, gymnosperms. See here, the birds, you know how many percentage of threat they are showing? Birds are showing there are 13% of extinction of birds. There is threat of 13% threat. I am saying about that how much threat is there for the species to become an extinct. 13% threat is for the extinction of birds. And if we go for mammals, if we go for after birds, if we see the mammals, there is 23% of extinction, threat of 23% probability of extinction. I am saying this as a probability. Actually, how many, if we see the calculation of there are different types of animals. There are fishes, there are fishes, there are amphibians, there are reptiles, there are mammals, there are mammals, and there are in plant kingdom. If we go towards the plant kingdom, we will see angiosperms, gymnosperms, and other plants. So in this also that is why I am giving here a simple calculation that suppose if there is extinction of different species, which group of animals, which group of plants is being extinct very fastly. If we see which are facing the threat of extinction most, if we see there is only 13% of threat for the birds. If we see the mammals, there is 23% of extinction threat for what? For the mammals. If we go towards the amphibians, we will find 32% of threat. 32% of threat we will find for the amphibians. In case of gymnosperms also there is 31% of threat. So here we have made a calculation that this amphibians, the amphibian species which are mostly found, amphibians are also called what? They can reside on land as well as they can reside on the earth. As per the evolution, amphibians came from where? They was like the fishes. They was inside the water. Now they are coming towards the land also. That is why they are called amphibians. They can reside inside the water also. They can come out from the water also. So this was the data that I am saying amphibians are having most threat for the extinction. Now I will say that some in a graph. If I show graphically, how I will show graphically for this. See here. Now we will go through one more fact is there. In next see here, in next 100 years, what will happen? In next 100 years, as per the prediction given by the scientists, they have told in the next 100 years there is extinction of half of the species. Half species will become extinct. See here. So this all is actually, I will tell the cause also. Actually the main cause, there is human population is increasing. So when there is increase in the human population, the half species will become extinct in the next 100 years. This is the data this is the prediction that has been given by the international organization. So next 100 years, half species will become extinct. So then I will tell in the next lecture what steps we will take so that we can control this extinction. So I told these were the some facts that tell us about the extinction. That says about the extinction. I want to see one graph. If we see the human, this is a graph. I want to tell about graph. See, very simple. This is a graph. Here we will put a population, human population of human. So human population. This side there is human population, and one more thing, in the same side we will put extinction. See here, extinction and same. We see here is human population. I have put in this side graph, and this human population, and I have put extinction on this side on the graph, and here I will put the time. Time means 1800 years, during 1800 century, in 18 during the 18th century, during 19th century, and in 20th century. Here I will show 2002 I will show. In 20th century I am showing this is 20th century. In 21st century I am showing 2002 here. Suppose that I am showing the graph. If you see, this the graph has been seen like this. See, this is the graph. This is the graph actually. The graph is both for extinction as well as human population. See, the human population was constant, the extinction of species was also constant. When the human population is being increased, when the human population is now increasing at 19th, 20th century, what happened? At 20th, at 20 and 21st century, what happened? That there was extinction. See, there was extinction also at the fast rate. So human population is the main cause for this was the humans, and this is the extinction. So human population is also increasing, extinction is also increasing. This is the graph I have shown here. Now I will tell about the different causes that cause the loss of biodiversity. So what are the different causes that cause biodiversity loss? The first main important cause is habitat loss, and fragmentation. Habitat loss and fragmentation. Actually, what happened? What actually I am going to say here? If we see what actually is going on, that habitat loss and fragmentation. How there is fragmentation? How there is habitat loss? Humans are doing what? Suppose this is a forest. What humans are doing? This is a forest. This is a coverage of forests. Humans are making roads between the forest. They are making roads between the forest. They are making projects at the forest. They are converting this forest land into grasslands. They are converting this forest land for the cultivation of different crops. So what happened? This fragmentation, they have cut it. This is the fragmentation. This whole area was what? This was the forest. They have made the fragmentation there. So this is the main cause for the biodiversity loss. See how? One is they have cut the plants in this area. In this area they have cut all the plants which are found there. And also the animals which are found in this region, what will happen? That there is now cut. What will happen? There is no space for those animals. The animals will come towards the local areas also. Local areas outside the forest. They will come towards the local areas outside the forest, and there were also extinction of species. The species which was found in this area, because they have a habitat. This is not only the habitat for those animals. This was actually a niche that is called ecological niche. So it is an ecological niche also. For ecological niche is not only habitat but also the dwelling space, where they are residing, where they are reproducing, where they are living. This area we have cut it, so we have made no connection is now. This area and this area has no connection. It will affect also the migration of birds there. So this was the fragmentation that I told. I told habitat loss. When there is fragmentation, there is a habitat loss for what? There is a habitat loss for those plants and animals which are found there. So this is the main cause. If we show the analysis, about 32%, about 37%, I will show here. If we see that about 37% of biodiversity loss is because of habitat loss and fragmentation. This was the first point. If we go, I will tell one thing as one of the most important point here I am going to tell. That is, there is a forest that is called a tropical Amazonian rainforest. Tropical Amazonian rainforest. Do you know about tropical Amazonian rainforest? I am going to tell some points about tropical Amazonian rainforest. The tropical Amazonian rainforest is also called as the lungs of earth. It is also called as the lungs of earth. Why? Because it produces more than 20% of oxygen is coming from tropical rainforests. So the high oxygen is produced by what? Tropical Amazonian rainforest. And now what I am going to say about the tropical rainforest is that the tropical rainforest was covering 14% of the land. First, the tropical rainforest was covering 14% of the total area, 14% of the total area on earth. Total area on earth. It was covering 14% of the total area on the earth. Now, if we see, only 6% is now on the earth. The 8% has been destroyed, has been removed, has been deforested by the humans. That is actually extinction. So tropical Amazon rainforest was about 14% of land it was covering. Now it is covering only 16% of land. This is also the main thing, that tropical Amazon rainforest is also going to be towards the bad situation. So see here, this was about the tropical Amazon rainforest that I have told. See, now I am going to tell about the second cause. Which is the second cause that caused habitat loss? This was the habitat loss and fragmentation that I have told. If we see the second cause, that is overexploitation. Overexploitation is the second cause for the biodiversity loss. What is actually the meaning of overexploitation? See, we all know humans are dependent on the food and shelter. They are dependent on biodiversity. Humans are dependent on biodiversity for food that we eat and shelter for our day-to-day life that we are living. We need wood, that is a shelter. So we need a place to live, that is a shelter. So overexploitation, what happens when the humans need what? Humans are dependent on food and shelter. But what happened when the need turned into greed? There happened overexploitation. When the need turns into greed. It means we was having a need of food and shelter. Now human became a greedy. The human became a greedy. Now it tries to destroy the forests. It is going for deforestation to earn more and more money. It is going for the killing of tiger. It is going for the killing of bear. For taking the teeth of the tiger. For taking the external coverings. For taking the external coverings of animals like bear. So for financial purpose, so we became a greedy. Actually, we was having a need. We have turned our need into greed. We became greedy. We tried to destroy the forest and other things to become a developer. That is why, if we see, the developed countries are not having so much biodiversity because they have turned their need into greed. But in case of developing and underdeveloped countries, there is high biodiversity because the cause is simple, that there is not so much greedy people there. The people are conserving nature yet, so they are also underdeveloped condition. So this was all about when there is overexploitation. So we are doing the overexploitation of the species. Overexploitation by means of deforestation. We are doing overexploitation. We are doing overexploitation for killing animals. Killing animals for our financial cause, to earn money. And also, do you know why there is overexploitation? Actually, when there is no occupation for the people, when people are not doing anything, definitely they will go for the simple way. They want to earn money in the simple way. They will destroy the forest, they will destroy the animals to get money in a very easy condition. Okay, this was all about the overexploitation. The third cause for the loss of biodiversity is what is the third cause for the loss of biodiversity? That is alien species invasion. Alien species invasion is the third cause for biodiversity loss. What is actually, see, in overexploitation, I told you there is only 5%. By means of 37% loss is by means of habitat loss and fragmentation. 37% habitat loss and fragmentation is responsible for 37% biodiversity loss, and overexploitation is responsible for how much? At least about 35% of this is 47%. So habitat loss and fragmentation is responsible for 47% loss of biodiversity. Overexploitation is responsible for 37% loss of biodiversity. Alien species invasion is only 5% of losses by means of alien species invasion. Alien species is also called as foreign species. Alien species is also called as non-native species. These are those species which are not found in their native place, which are not found in their natural habitat, but they had been taken from some other countries. They had been taken from some other natural habitat, and they were taken from some other natural habitat and were put into another habitat where that was not their actual place, that was not their actual habitat, that was not their ecological niche. So actually what happened when we have taken the animals, the plants, the other biodiversity comprising animals and plants, when we have taken them from one country and into the another country for any purpose. The purpose we will say in future. I will tell some examples also for what purpose we are taking these. The species which we have taken, what happened, the species which we have put on the another place. I will give a simple explanation. You will write these 2 pointers. I will explain this in a very better way by example. See here what happened. There was an animal that is called Terratos. Abandon, that is called abandon Terratos. Abandoned tortoise. What happened when we have put alien species? We have put alien species. That was goat. Alien species was goat. It has done the extinction of this. So what happened? This was found in the Galapagos Island. Galapagos Island. So what happened actually? The abandoned tortoise was the species, was the animal that was found in the Galapagos Island. It was found in the Galapagos Island. What happened when the alien species was goat. The goat has been taken and put into the abandoned tortoise, so that what happened? This goat became an invasive. What happened? This goat has taken, it has consumed all grass. Actually the all grass has been, there was the grass, the all grass which was found in the Galapagos Island was consumed very fastly by the goat. When goat has consumed the grass very fastly, the abandoned tortoise became extinct. So this was one thing that I have told, how there is extinction of species by means of alien species. So this alien species has put this abandoned tortoise into extinction. So this is also not found today. So it is an extinct species because of the goat. Why? Because goat has consumed. They have actually, what they have done, scientists have done, they have taken this goat. Because it was a grassland. Galapagos Island there was a grass. Scientists, the people, those who have taken this goat, they was thinking that this goat will consume the grass. It will consume grass so that we will take some benefit. But what happened? The goat became so much powerful there, it has consumed all the grass, and the grass for abandoned tortoise there was no grass for abandoned tortoise, and this is called as competition also. There became a competition and it became extinct. One more example I am going to say, that is there was if we go, one more example is there is a water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is also called as water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is also called as terror of Bengal. The water hyacinth is also called as terror of Bengal. Why it is called as terror of Bengal? Because it became like a terror. It became a terror within the Bengal. When we have put this water hyacinth, it was not found in the India. They have put some other country and put in the Bengal. And not only in the Bengal, if we come in my Kashmir, there is a lake that is called Dal Lake. In Dal Lake of Kashmir, they have put this water hyacinth. And this water hyacinth became invasive in our Dal Lake also. So if we go to the Dal Lake, the Dal Lake is every year, every month they are removing that water hyacinth from the Dal Lake. Actually this is very invasive because it shows very fast reproductive rate. It has very fast reproductive rate. So when they have put this water hyacinth into the Dal Lake, it became an invasive species. Invasive means it has shown more growth. It has shown more power of reproduction there. So what happened? That it has removed other species from the lake also, and it has destroyed, it has polluted the land also. Why they have taken? Now the question is, why they have taken this water hyacinth into the Dal Lake? Why it was there in the Bengal? Actually, this water hyacinth was having a beautiful flowers. They have taken for the beauty for the purpose of beauty. They have taken this water hyacinth for the purpose of beauty and put in the Dal Lake. But flowers we was thinking about the beauty of flowers, but it became an invasive. It became another problem inside the lake. So this was the second example. The third example I am taking, that there is a one African catfish. The African catfish. There is a one fish, that is African catfish, it is also called this African catfish is also called as it is also called as Calarius grassipinus. It is also called as Galerius grassipinus. You can find this also on the net. African catfish. What they have done, they have put this African catfish into the India. When they have put in African catfish into India, the catfishes which was native, the native catfishes of the land, they have put into the rivers. This native catfish became extinct. It became extinct. The species became extinct. So many species of native catfish became extinct when they have put this African catfish into the land. Actually, why this is happening? Why? Actually, when we are taking a species, alien species from one country into the another country, what happens? Why there is extinction? See, the main thing is that is competition. There happens a competition. What is actually competition? As per the Gauss's competitive exclusion principle, when two species are showing a competition for food or for habitat, definitely there is extinction of one species has to become extinct. When there is fight for the same thing, when there is fight for the food, when there is fight for the habitat, for two species, what will happen? One will become extinct. There is a chances that one will become extinct. That is called the Gauss's competitive exclusion principle. This principle was told by the Gauss. That is called the Gauss's competitive exclusion principle. Okay, so now you found that why there is biodiversity loss when we are putting any alien species, because it became invasive. When it became invasive, it shows a competition with the other species and it causes the extinction of many species. And there is one more cause for that. One is extinction of other species by means of competition. It will show competition there. And also, what will happen? There is a food chain, and also we can say food web. There is difference between food web and food chain. I will not tell here because there is no time for that to explain. Food chain, we all know that there is a chain of food. There is a frog. Frog is eating any small animal. The frog is eaten by the snake. The snake is eaten by the eagle. The eagle is eaten by the any other bird. So what happens? There is a chain of animals in the food for the purpose of food. So one animal is dependent on the another. That one is dependent also on any other species. So there is a chain. If we break the chain at the middle, or if we take any other animal, if we have taken the alien species, it will do extinction of one species. When there is extinction of one species, the food chain will destroy. There is destruction of food chain. In the food chain, we have removed one part. Suppose this is a food chain. This is a grass. Grass has been taken by the bear. And the bear, grass is eaten by the bear, or we can say tiger. When the tiger will, what will happen? Grass has been taken by deer. Grass has been taken by the deer. Deer has been taken by the tiger. And when the tiger will die, it will undergo depression. So the eagle will be also, the birds will be also dependent on it when it dies. Okay, so grass. So what will happen if we remove this deer here? If we remove here, tiger is a carnivore, but here the deer was what? It was herbivore. The deer is an herbivore. When we have removed this deer herbivore, what will happen? The tiger is now, it cannot eat directly grass. It was eating the what? It was carnivore, it was eating meat of deer. So now there is there is no, this species not there, so there will be also extinction of tiger also. When there is no tiger, those birds which are dependent on the tiger will also die. So this is the actually mechanism. And also there will be some parasitic species, some mutualistic species, some species which are present on the tiger, they will also die. So see how extinction is coming. When there is extinction of one species, what will happen? And when we have why this extinction, we are taking animal species that will do extinction of this species, and this species will also extinct, this will also extinct, it will become a long chain. So there is mass extinction here. This was the third cause that I told, animal species invasion. Animal species invasion. The fourth is climate change. Climate change. Climate change, we all know, when there is change in the climate, when there are droughts, when there is change in the climate, definitely there will be loss of biodiversity. We all know that. So when there is, another is pollution. Fifth is pollution. When there is pollution, definitely there will be loss of biodiversity. So these are the common terms. There is no nothing to give climate change. When there is change in climate, because every animal is residing at a particular place where there is a particular environment. So when we are changing the environment there by the human activities, by the anthropogenic activities, what will happen? So because of the human activities, there is change in the temperature, there is global warming and other things that will also cause climate change. That there is change in the precipitation, that is snowfall and rainfall. What will happen? There is definitely destruction of different types of plants will not grow, and different types of animals will not reside in that place. So this was the climate change. Definitely when there is pollution, there is global warming. When there is global warming, there is also extinction of different types of species. So this was all about the different causes that cause the disease. One example I forget. I want to present here in the Kashmir, in my motherland Kashmir. There was a 4-year-old girl. There was a 4-year-old girl, and she was unfortunately she was eaten by the leopard. Leopard has eaten a 4-year-old girl before some months in my motherland. What happened actually? Why this happened? Actually, the leopard is coming from the forest area. Actually, why? The cause is simple. Either there is human involvement, that we are going for the construction of buildings and other industries towards the forest. So animals are coming out from their natural habitat towards the residential places of humans. So what will happen? One cause we are also involved in it. Second is there in this, for why leopards are coming mostly today. There are more leopards found in the Kashmir nowadays. They are roaming. Why this is happening? Second cause. One was actually the human cause. We are going for the construction near the. Another is one more cause. There are many causes there, and one more cause is that is the government. That government projects. Government is making some projects like that for tourism or other things like that. So that also causes biodiversity destruction. So I am not going to tell that, but actually I want to say that 4-year-old girl was there. She also was eaten by the leopard, and leopard has taken. She was playing cricket. She was playing with the kids, and leopard has taken that girl and eaten, and the girl was found dead inside was somewhere there was some I don't know whether it was forest or. I think in some other place, I don't know where it had put. It was somewhere in the forest. It was some other place. Leopard has left the dead body of 4-year-old girl. So the thing is, we are itself involved in the extinction of these animals, these plants. So now we have to conserve it. In the next lecture, I will say how to conserve the biodiversity. Thank you.